I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I led you to believe it was easy when it wasn't. Maybe I made you think my highlights started at the free throw line and not in the gym. Maybe I made you think that every shot I took was a game winner. That my game was built on flash and not fire. Maybe it's my fault that you didn't see that failure gave me strength, that my pain was my motivation. Maybe I led you to believe that basketball was a God-given gift and not something I worked for every single day of my life. Maybe I destroyed the game. Or maybe you're just making excuses.
When I started with the Bulls, it was 5,000 people in the stands. So, it was like playing to an empty arena. My mindset was to go, try to get back and win. Anytime that, when I left in 93, I left on top in terms of winning. I was coming back in 95, halfway in the season, and still my mentality was about winning. Now granted, physically I wasn't prepared for winning at that time because I had a baseball body, but it took me a while to understand my teammates, understand, their motivations. If I can put it in the most simplest terms, is that, you have to give up bits and pieces of who you are for the benefit of the team. And that can be, something so simple as either, response, support, spending time, having lunch, dinner, either way. I learned that later in my years because initially in basketball, I was so focused in my craft that's what matters the most. But to win, you have to give parts of yourself to other people and look at people in a different manner and come to accept it. I really don't have regrets. I am a person that says, as soon as you look back in your history and you come up with something that you feel like you want to change, something else has to change. Disappointment to me, to win, you got to lose. To be successful, you got to have something that's not successful. To be happy, you got to have disappointment. I think all of those things have evolved and happened to make me who I am and understand the benefits and the privileges I have, and not to wear it on my sleeve, be very humble about it. That's one thing my parents taught me very well is, don't wear your reputation, don't wear your accolades, don't wear your personality on your sleeve. Let it happen, let it be you. It is who you are. Don't hide from it, but don't wear it and rub it in people's face. The thing that I remember the most about my father, and I had him for 32 years, and I never look at it from a negative sense. Obviously he was murdered, but the thing that I do remember all the time, I think about him practically every day. For a person like myself who live in the spotlight and is so critical, the thing he's always said, take a pause before you make a decision and say, what if? And the purpose for saying what if is that whatever decision you make, always either going to have consequences. You think about the consequences, pro or con, you make the right decisions that you feel is the right decision.
So why, at the age of 31, is Michael Jordan playing minor league baseball for $5 an hour? With all he could be doing with his life, why is he in right field for the Birmingham Barons, traveling by bus to play games in places like Greenville, South Carolina?
That's an unfair shot. I felt they felt I was disgracing the game. The game is not a game. It's not a religious game. It's a game. It's America's game. And I think everyone treated it like you're not supposed to play it if you don't play the game your whole life. I mean, that's not the way it should be.
Now, all the decisions I made, other people may view to be not the right decisions from their perspective. But for me to go play baseball, and everybody says, oh, it was a failed opportunity to play baseball. You know, that's what they think. For me, it was the best thing that could have happened for me because it allowed me to go back to the game with a stronger passion. At the same time, I was able to understand the love that these minor league baseball players have, making $1,500 a month, which is nothing. But for them, it was big. To me, to see that helped me put things in perspective, to understand the platform that I was on in '93. That when I went back to it in '95 and '96, I appreciated it even greater. So when we won those championships and we went through those things mattered to me far greater than what I did in '91, '92, '93. People don't see that. People will never understand that to be success. You know, all they think about, well, he batted .202, you know, and struck out a certain number of times. Yeah, okay. You know, but the effort was there, and the learning curve and the passion was there that has transcended not just to me, but to other people who are afraid to do things because they're worried about the perception that may come from other places. To me, that's more gratifying than anything.
Is it fair to say that you're trying this in part because you and your father discussed this and you see this as a kind of an extension of your life together?
Yeah, it was a thing that we talked about. So it wasn't like the reason that I'm doing it is because he's dead, you know, because I was going to do it anyway. You know, I had plans to do it anyway. He's tried to talk me into doing it a couple years before now, and I wasn't ready. And I guess in doing it now, it's like a thank you to him.
You think about him every day?
Every day. Every time I step on the diamond, I mean, he's with me wherever I go. Even though he's not here physically, he's here with me mentally and, you know, spiritually. I know if he was here, he would be here. I mean, you know, no matter what people say about me negatively, he would be my biggest supporter, my biggest, you know, support. Cherish what you have, and always be in touch with your family because, you know, you never really know what they mean to you until they're gone. And for 31 years, he was with me, you know. And there's a lot of kids today who don't know their parents, never have, and probably never will, and so they don't get the education that my father gave me, you know. So I think it gives me a better motivation to stay in tune with my kids and make sure that they know what's right and what's wrong, and that when I'm gone, they can take that on. It's not that I'm afraid to do that. You know, I got an opportunity to fulfill that last little dream that I have, and I'm gonna do it.